linebacker spot after watching the film. And I remember last week you talked about wanting to get some continuity at that spot. Do you feel like you got it against Arizona State a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we played those three guys, and we honestly intended to play a few more, and then the way the game unfolded, those guys got in a rhythm. You know, Eric was playing. Eric played pretty well. Tackett was extremely productive. It was definitely his best game. We thought he took some steps from kind of being able to catch his breath after the first 3 weeks of the season when it's all coming at you fast, and he took a nice step in the bye week and thought played well. So I was proud to see that. And you know, Mason did a good job. I mean, we operate typically pretty well when he's in there. He's such a good communicator and knows our stuff so well and thinks fast on the run. That he's a good player, but he brings a lot of intangible benefits to it too. So, and then, I mean, listen, Rajon, you know, Shane, guys like that are still a big part of what we do. This thing's going to go on and on. There's different things that are going to happen. We're going to need all five of those guys to play at a high level. And I mean, 4 games in, you look back on it, and they've all five had some really good bright moments for us.
What's the thing that Rajon has to keep showing to push for more opportunities?
You know, I think consistency of his job, and that's really, you could put that in the blank for all of them. I mean, listen, when you got 5 guys in there that you feel like are good players, the margins are going to be thin. And the thing we tell guys with playing time, I know I've told you guys, is like make it obvious, make it where it is impossible for us to keep you off the field, and that's always been our message to guys. You know, Rajon has improved drastically. Really proud of his progress. There's a lot of confidence. There's frankly quite a bit more confidence in him than there was 12 months ago, and we weren't in a bad place with him, but he really has grown up and progressed, and he's going to play a big part. Just watch and see. Just let him fold. If he continues to keep the great attitude like he always has, he's going to play a big part. No question about it.
What have you thought of Deion just in general and the transformation he's been able to pull off in such a short time?
He's done a great job. I mean, you know, look at the results. I mean, that's, you know, at the end of the day, our job as coaches is to do what's necessary to help make these programs that give us an opportunity the best it possibly can. And that's kind of the end of it. And you know, we've all seen it here. You know, there's a lot more similarities in the transformation here and what Coach has done at Colorado than there's not. So yeah, I mean, I see right where he's coming from. He's done a great job with the roster, and I think, you know, the other thing I've seen, I don't know him, I've never met him, but he seems to be, you know, very genuine in his approach. And listen, everybody's different. Everybody's got different personalities. I think leadership, when you're fake and try to be something you're not, I think people see right through that. And regardless of what your characteristics are of your personality, if you're yourself, you can be a great leader, and he certainly seems to do that. Seems to be very genuine, and certainly his guys have responded to that.
You said a lot of positive, things about you. Presser, I think yesterday, did you get a chance to see that? Talk about kind of following your journey since Texas.
No, I didn't. We were kind of holed up here, but I'm looking forward to getting a chance to meet him and visit with him. I mean, obviously he's one of the best players that's ever played our game, and so I think we'll always have an important place in our game, no matter what. And so yeah, looking forward to get a chance to chat with him and compete against him.
You mentioned some of those similarities in terms of transformation. How important is it to have a quarterback the way that he does and the way kind of that you have had that relationship with Caleb that he obviously has with Shedder?
Yeah, it's critical. I mean, you got, you know, 2 coaches that came in with guys that they've obviously trusted and had experience with, and I don't think you can put a price tag on that from the team aspect and building the culture in the beginning, which is really, really tough. It's a lot harder than probably what people think on the outside. And then certainly offensively, we were able to get off to a decent start year 1 offensively, and they've been able obviously to do the same and play very well. And so, yeah, I think it's a key part. He was smart enough to bring his son along with him, and he's played at a high level.
Do you have to warn the guys at all about bulletin board material, the way they've kind of used that to their advantage this season?
We just tried to, kind of going back to the genuine comment, we just tried to continue to be ourselves and keep our same approach. We haven't been focused on opponents or any of the outside things. I mean, to each his own, and we've got to stay focused and try to, we got plenty of things that we got to get better at and be ready to handle that have to do with us. And if any of our focus is going anywhere else, and that's not the best thing for us.
They have a lot of speed, Coach. Thoughts on stopping the big play in this one, which was kind of a bane to you guys last game?
It's kind of what?
A bane.
Maybe. Yeah, we got to do a good job of it, right? It's every week, right? College football, that's part of it. The way the game's played now, you got to try to limit those big plays, and that'll be very important. We, our defensively, we're fortunate because we get to see some pretty good skill guys offensively every day that we compete against, and we know this will be one of the more talented groups that we face in terms of opponents. So we'll have to do a great job.
Mario had a few drops on Saturday as the issue popped up a bit last year. How do you work with him with it?
He's an experienced player. I mean, he took his eye off the first one trying to go score a touchdown. I think was just pressing a little bit on the second one. Mario's played a lot of ball. If he were a young guy that's very early on, I think he'd be a little more concerned. But guys go through this. It's like Jonah misses a block, Caleb misses a throw. Like it's part of it. Like it's going to happen. The thing is, Mario's a confident human being. He's a hard worker. He came back and made an enormous play, which is probably the toughest catch he had all night, which is just the bang play down there on the 2-point conversion that was huge. So obviously our confidence didn't wane, and his did not either.
You talked last week about that turnover between the 7:30 and then this week's 9 o'clock. What's the biggest thing that you need to make sure you build in time for during this game?
Well, I mean, there's two sides of it, right? I mean, for the players, it's the recovery side, being able to get to work and get the plan in and attack the areas that we have to improve on, and then getting the recovery in is probably the biggest thing. For the coaches, I mean, good thing we don't have to play any snaps, but it's kind of like playing on a little bit of a short week for the coaches, and that's okay. So we've made a few adjustments in our schedule kind of throughout the week to accommodate for that, and we're used to this. We played quite a few of these at the previous spot, quite a few big ones. Red River was always really early, and so a lot of us actually kind of prefer this. So it'd be fun just to wake up, eat, do a quick meeting, go play.
You talked about Dennis getting a scholarship. I mean, what was the reaction from the guys like, and why, just why now? What did he share?
Yeah, they erupted. They've seen the way that guy's worked throughout the entire time that he's been here. He's never been promised anything. He was giving him opportunity, and he's continued to work hard. And I think he has the respect of the entire team. And when I told the team, they erupted. They had Dennis come up and give a speech, which in typical Dennis fashion was all over the place. So
what do you say?
I honestly, I'm not like being. I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't know that I could accurately explain it. It was really bizarre, and then at the end it was like, oh, and thank you, and walked off. So yeah, that's just Dennis for you. Dennis is kind of quirky, but the guys love him, and guys have a lot of respect. So it was a cool moment in the team.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.